could go left, or you could go right. You could go forward, but never ever back.
Am I sharing?
World War
Yeah,
III
it's Sharon.
has been than it is now. We need to clean house all of the warmongers and America last globalists and the deep state, the Pentagon, the State Department, and the national security industrial complex. One of the reasons I was the only president in generations who didn't start a war is that I was the only president who rejected the catastrophic advice of many of Washington's generals, bureaucrats, and the so-called diplomats who only know how to get us into conflict, but they don't know how to get us out. For decades, we've had the very same people, such as Victoria Nuland and many others just like her, obsessed with pushing Ukraine toward NATO, not to mention the State Department support for uprisings in Ukraine. These people have been seeking confrontation for a long time, much like the case in Iraq and other parts of the world, and now we're teetering on the brink of World War III. And a lot of people don't see it, but I see it, and I've been right about a lot of things. They all say Trump's been right about everything. None of this excuses in any way the outrageous and horrible invasion of Ukraine 1 year ago, which would have never happened if I was your president, not even a little chance. But it does mean that here in America, we need to get rid of the corrupt globalist establishment that has botched every major foreign policy decision for decades. And that includes President Biden, whose own people said he's never made a good decision when it comes to looking at other countries and looking at wars. We have to replace them with people who support American interests. Over our 4 years in the White House, we've made incredible progress in putting the America Last contingent aside and bringing the world to peace. And now we're going to complete the mission. The State Department, Pentagon, and national security establishment will be a very different place by the end of my administration. In fact, just into my administration, it'll be a very different place, and it'll get things done, just like I did 4 years ago. We never had it so good. We'll also stop the lobbyists and the big defense contractors from going in and pushing our senior military and national security officials toward conflict, only to reward them when they retire with lucrative jobs, getting paid millions and millions of dollars. Take a look at the globalist warmonger donors backing our opponents. That's because they're candidates of war. I am the president who delivers peace, and it's peace through strength. There was a reason we had no conflict. There was a reason we didn't get into wars, because other countries respected us. I entirely built, all right from the beginning, rebuilt our military. It's a big reason for that. They didn't want to mess around with the United States, and now they're laughing at us. We could end the Ukraine conflict in 24 hours with the right leadership. At the end of my next 4 years, the warmongers and frauds and failures of the senior ranks of our government will all be gone, and we will have a new group of competent national security officials who believe in defending America's vital interests above all else. Thank you very much.
What do y'all think? How much do I believe him that he's gonna do all of this stuff? Not very much. Is he saying some good stuff in this? Yes, he is. And I do think that he would have an impact, like as far as maybe the Ukraine situation. But he said we stopped all wars, or we didn't have any wars while he was in the office. That's not true, And political season is coming around, so this is when the politicians start saying stuff that's good, But this clip says, "Leave it to Trump." What does this say? It says, You know things are seriously effed up when Trump comes across as the sanest guy in American madhouse. And I think that's a good assessment right there. you know, because they just keep talking about, we got to support Ukraine. No matter what, we have to stop by Trump, Putin, no matter what, da 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 da. So, but at what cost? We could say that the it's wrong. We can say that that it's just Russia trying to regain the old USSR's empire. That's fine. We can say that. But at what cost are we going to try to keep from that happening? At the cost of us having a full-scale war with Russia? At what point do we get, start talking about some kind of diplomacy? At what point do we say, okay, enough is enough? Let's not escalate this anymore. And I think that's what Trump is saying here. And I think that, if he was in there, because the Democrats are the ones, they're so war hawkish,
Well, remember though, when Biden brought us back into NATO, he extended a verbal invitation to Ukraine that they had to freaking walk back twice. And that's what really, that was the straw right there that caused this whole thing going back on. Because we'd been promising for years we wouldn't do that. And finally they said, look, man, we're tired of this pussyfooting around. You said it. You said you didn't mean it. So did you lie? Or were you making a false invitation? Which one is it? Are you going to insult Russia or are you going to insult the Ukraine?
And are you gonna expand?
That's exactly where he was too.
And are you going to expand NATO?
And no matter what, you broke your word. You broke America's word.
Class